Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Danger Planet. Today, we're talking about some more Star Wars Shatterpoint with the Hello There Squad Pack. All right, boys, make a Wookiee noise. Why, hello there,
Hello.
said General Obi-Wan to all of the fine folks at home. Today, we're talking about the Hello There starter box or squad pack. And oh boy, is this thing good, lit,
Spicy.
crack,
Powerful.
spicy AF, fam. Man,
Needs a nerf.
I don't know about that, but maybe it's very possible. So we have a couple of fun cards in this box. Let's start out with Mr. Kenobes himself. The first of two Kenobes, because we're getting a second Kenobe pretty soon. But for right now, we have General Obi-Wan Kenobi. He is an 8.8 support points character with 3 force points because, oh my God, he'd be auto include in every list if he were 4. If he's not
What do you
already.
mean would be auto included?
So he has an active ability called Hello There. For 1 force, 1 character in this unit can jump, and if it does, he adds 3 dice to its next attack roll during this activation, which is crazy.
When Vitali used this against me the first time, I thought he was cheating.
I also legitimately was like, there's no way that's what this card said the first time it was used against me.
Yeah, they were like, what if we did force jump? Like, okay, we already have that. And they like, but what if we got to get like an extra, almost an extra full attack, just half of a regular attack added on.
And like, don't get me wrong, Hello There's very good, but stand by. He has a reactive ability called So Uncivilized, which for 1 force is when he's targeted by a ranged attack, this unit can use this ability. He gains a hunker token, and then after the attack is resolved, if there were any misses, the attacking unit suffers 3 damage.
It is just the best bar none blaster reflect in the game.
Yeah. You remember how in the core set we had some blaster reflect? Like, that's literally just an ability on cards.
Yeah. I mean, they at least make you pay a force for this one, whereas the other reflect doesn't, but this one is just way better.
It's, oh my God, it's so much better.
If I could choose a force on the other ones and get this one, I would.
Yeah, all the time. And then, of course, he has an innate ability called Patience, which is actually very cool and I think reasonably well balanced. I really like it. But so when you reveal this order card, if you have an order card in your reserve, you can put it in on the top or bottom of your deck, and then if you do, you put this in reserve. And then when this unit's order card is put in reserve, 1 character in this unit, which is to say him, can either heal 3 or can heal 3 and jump.
Yeah. Yep. Why let him only do 1?
Yeah. Sorry. Even in reading this, knowing what this card does already, I still couldn't parse both. Yeah. And like, you can do both, right? It doesn't, you can do it in either order. Yeah. You don't have to resolve, like, this is 1 sentence. So you could jump somewhere and then heal like 3 conditions off of your, oh my God.
Read ability. It's also absurdly powerful. Deck manipulation in this game is extremely strong.
Yeah.
And no one does it better than Obi-Wan, turns out.
Yeah. And so basically you don't have to pay for this put him in reserve ability either, which is nuts. Although you kind of do, because you've already put 1 in reserve and like you're putting it back out of reserve. So it's like, it's sort of, but you could just put it on top and then it's just like it was in reserve. Now, my God. But all of those things, I think, probably fail in comparison to his identity ability, knowledge and defense. So allied units, which as an indicator is every single unit. It's not just units that are light side or that are Galactic Republic, and allied units. Every unit in your strike force does not lose their hunker tokens when they become engaged. So and they can have hunker tokens while they are engaged.
It does have a qualifier for the second part of it, but yeah, the first part is just allies.
Yeah, I found that out last night when I was playing Obi-Wan and Asajj Ventress. So while an allied Galactic Republic unit has, which is very specific, kind of, it's like only like 10 units.
It's only everyone in the faction
so far. Which obviously that won't be the case later. But while they have 1 or more hunker tokens, they add 1 die to defense rolls against melee attacks. So you don't get cover, you don't get the benefit from extra hunker tokens. If you have 5 of them, it doesn't matter. But you do just get a flat +1 against melee, which is pretty good. But after an attack targeting a character in an allied Galactic Republic unit is resolved, that character's unit can remove all of its hunker tokens, and if it does, 1 character in the unit can heal for each hunker token removed. Then each character that healed may dash, which is particularly ridiculous for the fact that if you're having your like normal clone trooper units get punched, you can remove the hunker tokens from the unit and then heal the unit, specifically the character that's on the other side of the board, and then slide him to go take another objective because that's the one that healed and then moved, which is nuts.
Also, it's trivially easy to put hunker onto clones because clones all have the defensive maneuvers ability, which puts a hunker onto them.
Yeah, which means that you're going to have to do an extra like 1 or 2 or 3 damage to people to just be able to actually get them. Because if you don't kill them in the first attack, they're just going to heal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude. Obi-Wan cracked. The model's pretty good. I'm kind of sad though that the pose of the model is he's like holding his lightsaber over his head with his arm up, kind of like old Captain Strike style. And isn't this cool pose on the card? Because if it were, it'd be just a million times cooler.
Well, look, it's his hello there pose.
Yeah, I suppose
that's his like signature stance.
I guess, but I like the card look too. But then like looking at his damage, like his stance cards, right? He doesn't have the best defensive stats, although like they're pretty good. 6 dice or 5 dice.
I would say he has Informataru, he has a great defensive track.
Yeah. I mean, his expertise is nuts, right? So he takes crits and turns them into misses at any expertise level. He does 1, and then he adds blocks, 6 dice, which like, dude. So dude's hard to kill. You can't shoot at him. Like he'll just deal 3 damage to your unit that shot at him each time they shoot at him. Oh no, that's not true. Because it's an ability, so you can still only do it once if you have both dudes shoot at him. But like, come on, guy. And then his damage track is nuts either way. It doesn't matter which force you're in. You're 6 damage for 3 hits every single time.
He's also a 10 health, 3 stamina, so he's like extremely hard to permanently put down.
Yeah. And like we see a similar thing in Maul from the core set, who is very strong offensively, but is 2 stamina. And oh boy, is this guy who is so much more defensive and also about as damagey.
I mean, his damage track is deceptively strong because you look at it and you're like, well, it's all just 1s and 2s, but it's not, because he has so many. So 1, he has 3 pushes on it. Pushes are just generally strong, and then 2, he has 3 separate debuffs on there, and clones when they are near units that you are attacking, apply debuffs before you attack.
Yeah,
so
and
like he's getting extra damage off of those debuffs.
You can benefit from both of them because he's not one of the clone units, right? He's just a guy. So if you have one of your clone units, I think it's, what is it? Is it range 4 or is it range 5 or 3?
I have 5. It is range 5. Coordinated fire.
Yeah, coordinated fire is range 5. So if you're coordinating firing for a pin right now, or a strange right now, or pretty soon a damage when the next box comes out.
Yeah, the 501st is pinned. The 212th is strained, and then the clone commandos are damaged.
Yeah, and like and all of those things are just in the first track on Ceresu, and in his Ataru form, he doesn't have any of that yet. But like, dude, oh, guys.
Yeah, like if you activate Obi-Wan, you're close enough to an enemy that you just need to jump to get at them. You could literally use a focus to get an extra die, and then you could use hello there to jump in to get 3 more die. So then if you're in Ataru, you're swinging 11 dice at your opponent, and it is just disgusting how hard he'll hit you.
Yeah, you're almost certainly going to get 2 crits based on 4 expertise, at least 1 crit on 2 expertise, and he's going to hit you for like 7 damage minimum, probably. Not to mention a shove. You're going to take a bunch of stuff. Like oh my god, dude is nuts. Dude is nuts.
Very fun to play.
And like he lends himself to building the Galactic Republic, but specifically the guards, the clone troopers, because of his giving Galactic Republic's hunger tokens. They get the hunger tokens, so the more hunger tokens everybody hunkers, the more hunger tokens, hunger tokens, hunger tokens, hunger tokens, hunger tokens.
Yeah, he synergizes extremely well with it with his super faction, whatever you want to call it. Like
Yeah,
Galactic Republic and Kenobi is just a match made in heaven. I don't know what it would take for me to not use Kenobi right now.
Yeah, if I were going to a tournament, I am starting every list with Kenobi, both of the clone commanders and the clones, and then it's just a matter of, are we taking like Anakin, or are we taking one of the things that aren't Anakin for some reason?
I think there is a case to be made for taking people that aren't Anakin.
Oh, for sure. No, there definitely
but I
is.
do agree. It's like if you're playing this competitively, you have one open slot in your list right now.
Yeah. And obviously take this with a grain of salt. We're recording this video on June 6th, 2023, which is like 4 days after this video was after this game was released, and there are currently 3 boxes you can purchase that contain models for the game, right?
Yes.
Which is so like things will change, but oh boy, is this guy going to be good. And unless he gets super nerfed, and maybe he does, right? We've already seen that they day 0 Arata Dooku to make him stronger. I would not be surprised if we day 15 or less see, okay guys, we're sorry, Obi-Wan got through playtesting a little rough, and this is what he says now.
I think realistically, like, he does, because like I don't see him getting power crept out of the game with how good his card is. So like realistically, he just needs to get a change, whether it's making his abilities cost more or do less. I don't know, but so I think if you bring Hello There down a little bit, or maybe make Hello There and so on,
or make it or make it 2 force, or make knowledge and defense cost a force to activate, right? That instantly solves it.
Well, that's a tough one because that one's just an always up.
Yeah, well, no, it's an always up. But then if you make it a force to spend the token, right?
Oh, because, yeah, if you want to do the active part of it, yes.
But I don't know, the design team they'll figure it out, right? Either everyone will be like, we're only playing Kenobi, or they'll fix it. I have faith in them. I think that they'll balance it in some way.
I do. I mean, it's a brand new game system. I'm not gonna lambaste the design team because they accidentally released this guy a little overtuned.
Yeah. But needless to say, if you haven't purchased this box set already in this video, do it now.
Also, from a hobbying perspective, everything in the box looks really cool.
Yeah. Particularly his secondary unit, Clone Commander Cody.
I love Clone Commander Cody.
Cody, he's here. He's got cool visor. Yeah. So Cody's a 4-point clone commando, clone trooper, Galactic Republic guy. He has he has a tactic called We've Got a Big Problem, which is at the start of his activation. Choose an enemy character within range 5. They get exposed, which is pretty good. It's not bad. I don't hate that at all.
Yeah.
We also have an active ability called Defensive Maneuver, which is on every clone that's been released so far, which is this unit gets to dash. If they dash, they get a hunker token, which synergizes extremely well with Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then we have...
It does cost 1 force.
It does cost 1 force, but you get a dash out of it. So it's it's a 3rd AP effectively for moving, which is very, very strong. And then we have 2 innate abilities. We have Say Goodnight Clanker, which is really good. So characters in the unit have Sharpshooter too. So if they have taken a focus action, they get 2 extra dice in addition to the focus to do their shoot with. And when a character in this unit makes a ranged attack, the target doesn't benefit from cover, which is its own clause and doesn't have anything to do with the focus thing, which is very strong. Also, it's particularly strong against other Galactic Republic Kenobi lists because you can just ignore their cover.
Yes.
Neat. Bring him and Gar Saxon. And then lastly is Bring It Down. So when an allied clone trooper supporting unit within 4 that has 1 or more hunger tokens makes the range attack, you can reroll up to 2 of his ranged, 2 of their misses, which is also very strong. They're always going to have hunger tokens, and you theoretically should be placing Cody in such a way that you're going to be rerolling 2 misses every time you shoot with one of your supporting units, right?
Yeah. Well, and like that's a really strong ability because like as far as I know, it's the only source of rerolls in the game, and the
Yeah,
clone how the
which
clones damage
obviously
tracks.
will change for sure, but
Yeah. Obviously, that could just like at the moment it's the only source of rerolls in the game, and the clones damage tracks are almost all very weak to start out, and then extremely strong at the end. So you want to get a lot of hits with, like, obviously when you get a lot of hits to everybody, you get like extra payoff with the clones because of how their track works. So
yeah,
like
and
being
I
able
mean
to be like, oh, only
we'll
three
see
hits,
that
two
with the
misses,
221
5
in a
hits.
second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's nuts. Cody's very strong. Yeah, if you're taking clone troopers, I will. And then also he has 9 durability and 2 stamina.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's a secondary unit, he has 2 stamina. I think we will be hard pressed to see Cody not being in every single clone trooper based force that exists. Like Rex is good, but I think, oh man, Cody, this guy's balling.
Yeah, I think you could definitely make an argument that like I think Cody and Obi-Wan are the hard takes as far as not like the supporting. You obviously just want to take all the clone troopers that you can, whatever the best ones are when the box come out. But Cody and Obi-Wan together feel like you are like a must take if you're building Galactic Republic. Rex, I think you could be like, I want to grab someone to do a little something else, but Cody is just so good. And then the one thing else is with we got a problem that unit within 5 has to be contesting an objective, an active objective, to get that
It's
exposure on
usually
them.
pretty easy to find people contesting objectives though. Because your opponent's not contesting objectives, you're just winning the game.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
like it's
yeah.
a little finicky because it has to be on the start of his turn, so you have to make sure you're just positioning Cody well. But you
Yeah.
know,
Sure.
And I
he gets
guess
a lot.
you do get the slight downside of if you activate him first right after a Shatterpoint uh, changes. You like, sure, I guess, but I mean, it's a very strong ability. I just missed that when we were talking about it.
Yep.
But Cody's stance card also is really good. He's six dice for attacking all the time, 4 dice for defending, which is not great, but he basically is always going to have +1 block. And at 9 durability, it's like, yeah, it's like whatever. But his expertise track for his ranged attack at range 5 is always a damage, and then if you get 2, you're at 1 crit, and 4, you're at 1 crit with 2 damage. And like every single stage of his thing is damage, except for his activated ability, which gives him a free defensive maneuver. But like, dude's good. You know, he's got pinned, he's got strained, or he can just shove a bunch.
Yeah. No, I'm very positive about Cody as well. Obviously, I don't think there's any bad parts of his card. Obviously, like you said, his defense isn't that great, but he's a range 5. He's a supporting character with just a really good blaster. Like he's realistically never going to be in a super exposed spot anyway, unless you're just really messing up his positioning. So like, how much of a detriment is that defense? I guess is what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So yeah, Cody's real good. Probably bring him. And then lastly, we have the support unit that comes in the squad box, the 221th clone troopers.
212.
221th. Oh, I'm sorry. This article just says 221th. My bad. 212th clone troopers. Yeah, so they're a supporting unit that costs 4. They have defensive maneuver as their active ability because they're clone troopers, so of course they do. They have a reactive ability, which is coordinated fire pinned, which is just when a character in any other allied Galactic Republic unit makes an attack as part of a combat action, which ranged or melee doesn't matter. Before dice are rolled, this unit can use this ability. It does not cost force if they're not wounded, and it's if the target's within 5 of a character in this unit, they just gain pinned. But it's before dice are rolled, so again, if they have pinned in their damage tree, then you're going to be doing extra damage, which is really strong. And then lastly, they have the other innate ability, or they have the innate ability Brothers in Arms, which is while this unit has 1 or more hunker tokens, characters in this unit have Steadfast, which means they just get to ignore the first movement portion of a shove that is done to them each round.
Which with how prevalent shoves are, it's a very nice little ability to have.
It's super, super strong. Shoves are like the bread and butter of how you position and take objectives in this game. And like, oh man, that's good. Much like the other clone troopers, though, they're pretty squish. They have 7 durability and 2 stamina. which is like pretty easy to one round for most melee orient or most damage oriented characters.
Yes.
But like, dude, their point isn't that they're going to go tank objectives. Their point is that they're going to provide supporting fire pinned and run around and have a bunch of hunger tokens. And you got to remember that they're getting an extra die in combat anyway. So even though they're like not great, it takes it there.
Yeah. And then they get to heal if you don't kill them with that attack, and then they're dashing away. Like
Yeah.
they have a lot of like deceptive defensive ability with this unit.
Yeah.
And
So I found that they're on the high ground a lot. So like they're gonna have cover a lot of the times where you're shooting at them, unless you ignore cover.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you're shooting at them, I mean, realistically, there's no reason that they should be rolling like 7 dice, right?
Yeah, it takes them up to like they're not actually a damage or a defense 4. They're really more like a 5 or 6.
It's just when you get real straightforward about, okay, I'm gonna go mark those dudes with this melee character. Now you're dead. That
Yeah,
that
Darth
they have
Maul's real
really
good at that.
anything to worry about. Yeah, Maul,
Yeah.
Anakin, keep
Asajj.
them away from these guys. Asajj Ventress. But their damage track is awful unless you get to step 4. It's a damage and a pin, a damage and a shove, and expose with no damage, and then 4 damage. So if you're getting to the point where you're doing the murders, you get there, but that's real hard to pull off with them. Although they get like 1 crit and some extra damage from their expertise on blaster. And you shouldn't be doing a melee attack with these guys.
Yeah,
if you can help it.
pretend they don't have a melee track.
Yeah, like these guys with having a range 5 gun and all the ways they want to play around cover, they're realistically just sitting back, holding, waiting for your opponent to run at you and just blasting them as they come in. Like,
And then they started blasting.
Yeah, and like by the time you get to them, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna use my 2 movements every time I activate them to dash away, then run away, and here comes Obi-Wan to beat you up for coming near his clone troopers, and it's like, how much activation have you just wasted to chase down a supporting unit? Like,
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, the thing that matters the most is that you're scoring points. But dude, these guys can mark things and help you mark things, and they combo in the just killing stuff department very exceptionally.
oh yeah,
It seems like the Galactic Republic, specifically playing Obi-Wan, but it seems like the Galactic Republic wants to stay within range 5 of everyone else on Galactic Republic, and just hold like a triangle pretty much, and just be like, I don't care about your side of the board. We're gonna hold 3, and that's all we need to win. And if you come over here, we're gonna kill you. And if you stay over there, we're just gonna win on scoring.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll talk about tactics, I think, with like when to take objectives and when not to, and what you need to do to win, and how to shatter points. In fact,
Yeah.
very soon. But I think that pretty much covers up the Hello There squad box. We have some very cool models in this box, and if you're at some point, you're probably going to buy them if you're playing this game, because again, Kenobi's cracked.
Yeah.
But if you want some help looking at like what these guys look like, how to paint them, and some ideas and tips, check out the article that we linked below on Goonhammer. If you're playing miniature war games in general, you should be on that site in some capacity. They're nuts. They cover literally, they have articles on every war game that you could care about. So check them out for sure. Also, make sure to jump in our Discord. We have a pretty active Shatterpoint scene going on now, because all the folks are super pumped about it, and we cover lots of other stuff too. We do a lot of Malifaux. We're doing some Infinity stuff. We got all the things bubbling up. So make sure to keep an eye here on the planet. And as always, I've been Brandon, and Vitaly. Thanks for talking with us about some shattery points over here.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Keep an eye on the planet. Signing off.
Beep.